team. And my brother and I, this is the last thing. We actually have a saying for this because of my XKCD comic, for which there's everything. But we always say lucky 10K. And it's because there's this great XKCD article or comic where it talks about like, here are all the things that everybody should know by the age of 30. And here are the number of people like between that. And basically there are 10,000 people learning something that everybody that is like common adult knowledge for the first time every day. And so you have two choices when you encounter somebody that is learning like this thing for the first time. You can berate them as somebody that doesn't already know the thing, or you can celebrate it, that they're one of the lucky 10K that is learning this thing for the first time today, that they will never have the joy of like knowing this thing for the first time, the excitement, and like celebrating that with them. And that's what, what I really think it is like realizing that like, or like celebrating people's learning with them, even if it feels like, oh, everybody should know this, because everything that everybody should know, everybody didn't know at some point.
Right.
And that's, I think, really, really important.
You mentioned like when people are learning something, there's that joy that comes from learning it. You can think back. I think you can remember. I can remember when I first wrote my like first line of code, or I wrote, this was like in C++, and I wrote some code and it did something. Maybe even just printed back. You mentioned in one of our previous talks where in BASIC you were basically just said hello Randy, right?
Yeah.
I remember writing a bash script that whenever I logged into my terminal, it said welcome master, right? Or welcome.
It's the same exact thing.
And it was
yeah.
like you just get like super pumped, super excited about this, and you're like, yes, I did it. But if you were to talk to someone who's been doing this forever and they said, oh, you barely learned that, that's kind of demoralizing. But you want a team, you want people that are going to say, that's awesome, I love that.
Lucky 10K.
Exactly.
Welcome to the honored, privileged group that knows this thing. And it's exciting.
Yeah. I know one of the things that I wanted to talk about later, and this is kind of off topic here, but I really think we talk about like code and how it changes lives. I see people all the time, right, online, and code is changing their lives and they're addicted. And there's a part of me that I think about in terms of like rehabilitation. I think about what if people who were going to prison, who were going to jail, what if you could introduce them to code?
Yeah.
Would it not change their lives?
I like, you mentioned this the other day, and I love this idea. I watched this video last night of like the world's most humane prison, and that's one of the things that they focus on is rehabilitation. And so like not only do they have like nice cells and like that are get treated like humans, which is great.
I saw it too.
Okay, but they actually train them in skills. And like, so that when you leave, like you have an actual job, and they have actual jobs while they're in prison and they're getting paid. And so they're like establishing those routines that will make it very important not to, fall back into the same systems and problems that they were in before. And like, I was like, dang, that's such an important concept of like, I'm going to give you a skill. I'm going to give you a way to transform your life. I'm going to put you into that place right now so that when you leave your current state, when you leave prison, the only thing that changes is where you sleep. You still have the same job. You still have the same skills. You're just sleeping in a new place. And so the whole it's not the same thing. It's absolutely not the same thing. But you transitioned out of the military. I transitioned out of the military. That transition was rough because a whole lot changed beyond where do I sleep at night? That was a question I had to answer. The also was, how do I pay my bills? What are bills? There were a lot of questions. And so I saw that video and I was like, dang, like Ram's onto something here. That's it. Sorry, I got really excited because you really are onto something.
So it's, we both know this, we both have a huge passion to like give back, to mentor, to help people like, do whatever they want to do, right? Whether it's code or something else. I mean, I just love that it's code when people reach out.
Yeah.
But if I can help change somebody's life, right? I saw the way code changed my life. Like I love to write code. Especially when I'm excited about it. And so it's just like another potential opportunity that I can give back with, or we can give back with. And, a lot of people companies won't give, people who've been in prison or jail that opportunity. And absolutely. One of the other efforts that we're working on is Project Anvil. And I can see us, implementing that in some way and, giving these people another opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm here for it, man. So I think I think there's some folks I have some connections with that we could even talk to about that. I know a couple of to be to the point, like a couple of folks that went that path where they were incarcerated and they learned to code, and it's changed their life. And I'll tell you that transition is not easy. And so helping people with that is good, because you and I both know that one of the first things that you do when you apply for a coding job is you fill out a background check.
Yeah.
And so you've got to prove your value beyond just knowing the skills, which doesn't seem fair.
It doesn't
seem fair. And like, if I have the skills, I have the skills, right? But so there's I think there's a great opportunity there to lean in and to help folks.
Yeah. It always boggled my mind why you had to go through VetFit when you had all this you had this really lengthy background. So I mean, if you had trouble finding like just a regular developer job without having to go through like a boot camp of sorts at USA,
yeah,
you can imagine how much more difficult it is for the average person that doesn't have your skills or your background.
Yeah. Man, I mean, this could be a whole conversation by itself. All I needed was somebody to give me a shot. And I knew that at that point. Like, I knew that by the time I went to VetFit. And like, to that end, I applied to USA as a direct hire at the same time. Like, literally was going through a direct hire and never even got a call back.
Yeah, that's really it's really indicative of the environment that we're in. I mean, obviously, you can look online and you can see that there are thousands of developer jobs that are unfilled right now.
Right.
From junior to mid to senior to lead and all that stuff. And if anybody just sees what you do on a daily basis, like all the work that you're putting in for Anvil and for Reproduct and all the things that fall under that, I still think about that, the fact that, and I'm sure there was a lot that you gained from it as well, right? It was a great experience. Somebody gave you an opportunity, and we have to, we're both thankful to Brian and the program that he ran. Mm-hmm. Right? Without that, potentially I would maybe not even be in software today.
Right. I mean, I probably would still be a teacher. I know plenty of folks that are still being teachers, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just the life change for like being an engineer has been life changing. So
yeah, and there's lots of opportunity for us to make change in other ways as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's good stuff.
For anybody listening, I hope you join us next week as we talk about whatever comes up.
Yeah, whatever happens to be the topic. Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. I got to jump off.